All right, today we're going to deconstruct one of the most common pieces of advice we ever get and uncover a much smarter, more anatomical way to think about our body's alignment.
I mean, we've all heard it, right? From our parents, from teachers, that constant nagging reminder to sit up straight or stop slouching. It's basically the background noise of growing up.
But what if forcing yourself into that rigid, ramrod straight position isn't just uncomfortable? What if it's actually counterproductive? What if there's a much better goal to aim for? Well, that's exactly what we're going to explore.
So, to find that better goal, we first need to understand what we're actually aiming for. And it's not about looking a certain way. It's about how your body functions with the most efficiency and the most stability possible.
The key concept here, the big idea, is the neutral spine. And nope, it is not a perfectly straight line. It's the spine's natural, gentle S-curve, where all the parts are in this beautiful, balanced alignment. And the amazing thing is, in this position, your body achieves maximum stability with the least amount of muscular strain. It's the body's sweet spot.
I absolutely love this metaphor. Imagine a Jenga tower. When the blocks are stacked perfectly, one right on top of the other, the tower is incredibly strong and stable. But the moment just one block gets out of line, the whole structure becomes vulnerable, right? Your spine is exactly the same. When it's stacked in neutral, it's at its absolute strongest.
So how do we actually measure this ideal alignment? Well, anatomists use something called the plumb line. Just imagine a vertical line that, in a well-aligned posture, should pass right through these key points on your body. If that line is straight, your Jenga tower is stacked. If it's crooked, it means your body is having to make compensation somewhere. And that brings us to the reality for most of us. Our Jenga towers aren't always perfectly stacked. So let's look at the common ways our alignment can shift. When one part of your spine shifts out of that plumb line, other parts have to shift to counterbalance it just to keep you upright. These shifts are called compensations, and they're the root of most common postural issues.
And this chart illustrates the most common patterns. See if you recognize yourself here. You've got forward head posture, we all know that from looking at screens all day, or round shoulders. There's also hyperlordosis, that excessive low back curve. Each pattern points to specific muscular imbalances. And the crucial takeaway is that fixing it isn't about just sitting up straight. It's about targeted strengthening and stretching, just like you see in that last column.
Okay, that's enough theory. How do you actually find this neutral spine in your own body? Let's move to a practical guide.
This is something you can try right now or the next time you're lying on the floor. The goal is to feel, not just think about, this alignment.
We'll start with the foundation, the pelvis. So lie on your back, knees bent. Find those two bony points at the front of your hips and your pubic bone. Now just gently rock your pelvis, imagining you're tilting it towards your face, that's 12 o'clock, and then away, that's 6 o'clock. You're just trying to find that exact midpoint where those three bony points create a flat triangle perfectly parallel to the ceiling.
That's it. That's pelvic neutral. Now notice what happens when you're there. There should be a small, natural space under your lower back, maybe just enough to fit your fingers. You're not pressing your back flat and you're not arching it excessively. That's the natural curve we're looking for.
Okay, next up, the neck. While you're still lying down, think about creating length at the back of your neck. Now give a tiny, settled nod, as if you're saying yes. Then relax, but try to maintain that feeling of length. Your chin shouldn't be jammed into your chest or jutting up at the ceiling. Your gaze will naturally fall just slightly down from straight up. That's your neutral neck.
Okay, so you found neutral while lying perfectly still. That's fantastic. But here's where the real work and the real benefit actually begins.
The true goal of posture isn't to hold a static position all day. It's to develop the core control to maintain that neutral alignment while you live your life, while you walk, lift, and reach.
This is such a powerful mental cue. Imagine that level pelvis you just found is a bowl filled to the brim with water. Now what happens if you lift one leg? Can you do it without tipping the bowl and spilling any water? That is dynamic stability. That's the real skill we're training.
So, this is the crucial point, this shift in mindset. We're moving away from the old idea on the left, a forced, rigid posture you have to hold, towards the idea on the right, a dynamic alignment that is efficient and adaptable. It's not about bracing like a brick wall, it's about balancing like a dancer.
And here's another great modern metaphor. Think of a camera gimbal. It keeps the camera perfectly steady and level, even as the person holding it is running and moving all over the place. Your deep core muscles are meant to do the same exact thing for your spine.
Provide a stable base so your arms and legs can move freely and powerfully.
So let's bring this all together. Let's redefine what good posture really truly means.
It isn't a perfect position you achieve and then hold forever. It's an active, dynamic process. It's about awareness and making constant, subtle adjustments as you move through your day. It's a real conversation between your brain and your body.
So, the real takeaway isn't to just sit up straight. It's to find your neutral, feel that efficiency, and then start paying attention to it as you move. The question we'll leave you with is, how will you listen to your body and start that conversation today?